guys, we're back with another episode of Tacoimposters. Okay, I was just watching a Billy M episode. I think it came out like a few hours ago. Anyway, and he was talking about something that was really cool. Okay, I remember this as a kid. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you, my best friend for like 5 years, from when I was like 4 or 5 years, between like 6 and 10. Anyway, was a girl. Okay, so I did a lot of girly things, but this thing was really cool. It was called Pixel Chicks. Okay, if I can get it, maybe I'll put a picture up. I don't know, but it was like this cool. It was basically a lot of the LCD stuff, right? And it came out in 2005, and it was a little bit late to the party of LCD things, but at least they did it much, much better than a lot of other people did. Oh yeah, they did it better. They know what they're doing because it looks better. Because basically, instead of having just a static screen and then things change behind it, it was a physical static screen, like a physical screen behind it, or a physical like background of like a dollhouse or something, or a car or something, right? And then like a see-through transparent screen. I honestly, I was like, it was actually a cool thing because it did it much better than a lot of other things did. Which, hey, it was because I had something called, or I didn't have, my brother had, something called Neopets. I don't know what like their subtitle was, but it was like a Neopets thing. Like electronic Neopets, which is basically a Tomodachi, but you chose an animal. My computer's been blue screening forever. Kernel security check. Kernel. That's weird. Anyway, my computer's been blue screening recently, the last 2 days or something. Anyway, yeah. So that thing was cool. Okay, so like, yeah, they were cool, and you could put them onto like a dock and put them onto the TV. These like Neopet type things, which, I mean, they were what they were. They weren't the greatest thing ever, but they were cool. For what I remember wanting one, I didn't ever get one. My brother had got one. His best friend had one at the time. His best friend had one at the time. Best friend at the time had one. Oh, nuts. Now it's saying preparing automatic repair. Yeesh. Hope that's not screwed with my computer. Can I take the drive and put it into this old computer? Because the drive does have SATA, but I don't know if it has the right power. No, I don't think it does. Might have to use this, I don't know if I could use this, power supply. Dang. Okay, anyway. But yeah, it was a cool thing. I mean, personally, I thought it was interesting, but I don't know if I... Oh, no. Jeez Louise. It just restarted. Like, preparing automatic repair. I'll leave it for a second. I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, no. Anyway. But they were cool. I mean, they were cool enough. I don't know what... They were decent. I mean, they weren't the best thing ever, but they were cool. Let me just turn the light on. Just a second. I'll be right back. There. Okay, yeah. And so there was a lot of those kind of things, though. And then Billiam also did a video on cuboids. Is that what they were called? Cube World. Anyway, they were basically, it's just a cube, and it had a little stick man in it. And I remember having one. And a lot of these things, and I mean a lot of these things, were all marketed as like, you can have multiple connected together and multiple friends, and it's great, and it's amazing, and it's so... Oh, there you go. Yay! Well, I don't know, maybe blue screen again. My computer's working. I don't know if it's working. Anyway, but yeah, they were all touted as like, look at the like connect, like you can connect together. It's great, and then it's just like, right? But then I never had them, so I think my cousin had had another one, or my second cousin had one. Is it a second cousin, or is it once removed? I'm trying to remember. The children of your cousin are your second cousins, right? Or second? Yes, I believe so. Anyway, the children of my cousin had them. They had them. He had one. He had one, I think. And it crapped on me. Same thing. Kernel security check. Failure. It blue screened on me. I don't think it's gonna work. I knew there'd be a problem with his computer. I frigged with it. Now it's just anyway. But yeah. So, and I think he had I remember him having one, but I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, I mean yeah, so I think he had one, and I remember connecting it, or my friend had one, maybe. Please wait, okay. But anyway, I knew I connected two together at least once of these cuboid ones, and then my brother and his best friend had connected their Neopet thing together. He never got the weird connect. Okay, recovery. It looks like Windows didn't load correctly. If you'd like to restart and try again, choose restart. Let's try restarting. Try restarting. I don't know. Don't tell me the drive's dead. Don't tell me that drive's dead. Please don't tell me that drive's dead. Oh, that would suck. That would really suck. Oh, no. Anyway. Dang it. Oh, well. But, yeah. So, they connected them together, and they played... They did. I think theirs was, infrared, or... I think, if I can remember correctly. Because I don't remember chords, and I don't remember connecting them physically, through, what are they called? Pins or anything, header, saying? They didn't, I don't think they did that. So, I don't know, but those things are cool, honestly. And now the Pixel Chicks is cool, because the Pixel Chicks was a better version of I don't know how to explain it. It was a better version of really bad LCD things, I loved LCD games. LCD games. See, it loads this, and it's gonna crap on me again, isn't it? I have no idea. Is it? It bing, 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 bing. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it did that. I mean, not that. It's gonna crap all over me, isn't it? It's gonna try and run, try and open, and then crap. Watch. It's not gonna open properly. But anyway, so yeah, they were decent. Yeah, and I looked for them again, and I looked at them again, and they're not exactly, cheap, per se. The Neopets are not expensive, but it's that small window, or it's not window, but small, crapped again in the security kernel. Aye. Kernel security check failure. Dang. Turn this thing off. Turn it completely off. Now, what kernel? Anyway, but yeah, so it's that weird group of people where because certain things aren't rare, aren't sought after necessarily, aren't expensive, but there's just enough people to make a small group of people who make it just a stupid amount of money, amount that you just don't want to pay. I'm not paying, $12 for one, but it's not a bad price. That's what happens with me a lot. I'll look at things and go, it's a fine price. I just don't want to pay that because I don't want to pay $12 for one. And that there'll be some bum somewhere, some bum somewhere who will just be like, oh yeah. You will quote it for nothing. Absolutely nothing. We'll do it for absolutely nothing. So, yeah. So. It'll do it for nothing. So, you know that, or not nothing, but much cheaper than. Okay, please work. It's not gonna work. The computer's not gonna work. Watch. But anyway, so yeah. I never really necessarily looked at the pixel chicks because I've forgotten about. Oh no, I kind of remember them, but I never really ever cared much for them. So I was like, oh yeah, those are really cool. And then like Billy made a video and people brought it up, and I was like, oh okay, they're actually not as bad. They're actually really cool. They're actually much cooler than I remember them being. But, well, no, actually, they're about as cool as I remember them being. It's gonna crap watch. Stupid things. Anyway, actually, now that I think about it, they're just as cool as I remember them being because they weren't that bad, but they were. I don't know, something about them that were just cool. Like they were just as cool as I remember them because I remember them just being like, because they were never the greatest thing ever, but they were better than like a lot of those LCD things. I had LCD things up the wazoo. I think I talked about McDonald's Happy Meals, and we got onto LCD stuff in that like McDonald's Happy Meals thing. One of these podcasts, but there were a lot of them from McDonald's. Quite a lot of them. Oh, it's doing something. Just changed to what's that called? Night shift, whatever it's called when it turns. Oh yeah. Thank you. It ran properly. Computer working. And then, apparently though, when I try and do any video editing, it craps. The whole thing just craps. So I'm using my mom's laptop to edit these things now. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, today is Sunday, October 4th, 2020. And this camera, okay, technically the front facing, but I've made this the primary camera, and so it says that one's the back one. But anyway, the opposite of the one I'm using now. I dropped the camera yesterday, and now it's got a little crack in it. And I don't know. I went on a walk with my parents today down to what is it called? Oh, he said that. My dad said the name of the town we were in like 5 times, and I didn't connect it into my brain to remember it. Anyway, and I don't know if, because the only thing I'm concerned about is, because I don't even care about the scratch necessarily. All I'm worried about is lens flare onto the one part of the screen. No, which is bad. But anyway, I mean, hey, this camera, okay, is getting old too. It's a Samsung Samsung Gear 360, 2017. Hey, my dad. Because I asked my dad. You know, it's between $400 and $500 because I think that's about what the one I'm looking at. The new one I'm looking at is. I'm looking for a Insta360R Duo. I think it's called, or yeah, I think it's Duo or something like that. Anyway, the one that's an action cam and a thing and a 360 camera, and it what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? You can interchange the lenses. It's great. It's an action camera and a 360 camera. Anyway, it's going to have a sale for Prime Day, which is the 13th and 14th of October. Which they said it was going to be $70 off, but they don't tell me what the price is yet. So at least they don't say anywhere. This price, at least as far as I've looked at it and whatever. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It's around between $400 and $500. What's the difference between this one and that one? And it's like. It's not that it's bad, and so that's the thing. It's not that this camera is bad. It's adequate for most people because most people don't know what good is. They don't know what good is. They just like, oh, that looks so cool and impressive. Like, it's the same thing of like, it's the same thing of, whoopsies, when someone says something like, there's like photos or videos when someone just shows you them, and you're just like. But, oh, it looks amazing. It's like, yeah, but you don't know what good is. It's what people argue when they use things like red cameras, right? And they're just like, no, but like you've seen one, and you'll be like, this is the first flipping fantastic. Like this is the best thing ever, and I'll be like, and I'm always like, I don't see a difference here. I don't see a difference between 720p 1080p and 4K. Now, okay, of course, I see a difference between 720p and 4K. I can see, like, I can tell the difference, but I don't, like, see, like, oh, this merits me to buy a $45,000 camera to use. No. Stop it. You know, no. 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 Not for me, at least. So, anyway. So, yeah. So. That's just my opinion. Anyway. So, like, that's the thing. I've seen people show things like really good cameras, like the nice higher end cameras than this. This is always a budget consumer entry level stuff, and it was never meant to be anything great, and they never made it to be great. It was just like, hey, here's a cheap, and it was like $300 at the time. So I mean, it wasn't necessarily cheap, but now, because that's the thing. I looked at an Instagram post by, was it Insta360 or just someone had 360 in the name or Insta360 in the name or something? I don't know. Anyway, and they were just talking about, is it still good to buy this? And they go, entry level, you have no. First of all, for the 360, you have a. Right? Have a, what's it called? Have a Samsung phone, or you have you have the second one. Yeah, the 2017, and you have a iPhone. That's the only two phones that'll work. Right? Then yeah, it's decent because it's if you have no like knowledge of the stuff, no 360 anything, no. I didn't pixel. Just a sec. There you go. These things. These were cool. Okay, so anyway, if you don't have any of that, and you don't have any knowledge, and you don't have any like photography skills, and you don't know any of that kind of stuff, and you don't have any tech, like you're not tech savvy really, then yes, this is a good camera still to buy. Because I don't know if they said that in that post I was looking at on Instagram, but what a lot of people said was it was and personally I think it's good to buy still in 2020, even though they're discontinuing support for it, and the app's just going to be crapped and gone. Anyway, right? Even though, right? I think it's still good to buy because you can get it for like dirt cheap now. And you want an entry level, you want something better than like what's that thing called? Panel clip, which is a thing that you clip onto your like iPhone. They had it for iPhones. I don't know if they have it for anything else, but iPhones, you know. And then if you want it for better than like that, right? And you want it better than like just a random app that'll take like 2 pictures, right? And you want it better than like things you connect like those really they're not that bad from what I've seen. Things you connect into like your lightning port or your like micro USB port or USB-C port. You want something better than that, right? But you're not willing to spend like the Insta or the Theta 1Rs and like the Insta 360 Max Insta 360 Duo or whatever. You're not ready to get like that kind of stuff. Right. Or you're not willing to spend like the other good one that somebody was explaining to me on Instagram, because I was talking to somebody there in DMs, and he was talking about which one was it? It was the GoPro Max, and that's a really good camera. Well, his argument with that camera was he bought it for like $600 or something, and then paid like $300 or $200 something ridiculous in my opinion. But he bought like protection for it, and basically that protection was like he could smash it into a million pieces, smash it to dust, and have no like evidence of existence of remnants of this at all, and they would just give him a new one, like replace it for him. Which he was like, still for him, it was good. Like you don't have that money, which is $669 Canadian on Amazon, and about the same price if you go directly through GoPro website. Yeah, that's a good camera to buy. And people are still arguing though that the first one was better than the second one because the sound is slightly better, and there's slightly different things, and there's removable battery than the first one. So, and on the removable battery though, I can definitely tell that mine has definitely gone down in battery because I could get about an hour and like 10 minutes, some 20 minutes depending. See, an hour and a half, right? And when I was used to do last year, when I used to do the 360 videos here, watching stuff, holy moly, like I could get an hour and a half. Now I can only get like 45 to maybe an hour, maybe more like 50 something minutes. Anyway, yeah. So the battery I can tell is going down, and that just could be not necessarily overheating battery because it overheats all the time. I think it might be overheating rather than degradation of a battery necessarily, but it has gone through like a couple of cycles, a couple of dozens. Maybe, I don't know if it's a whole dozen cycles, but it's gone through a couple of those like cycles, maybe half a dozen cycles, maybe a dozen. I don't know, but okay, if you don't know, a battery cycle is when it's 100% and then it dies. That's one cycle. And so they always tell you, okay, where it's like, they always say like, okay, it has like 3,000 cycles or 100 cycles or 50,000 cycles or five cycles, and batteries, for rechargeable batteries. So, but yeah, I can definitely tell for that. But I don't think, I think the second one's better because of the whole fact that you can connect it to an iPhone and a Samsung. And I like the form factor better. And the quality, it's weird because certain parts of it are better. I think the pictures are better, but the video is better, but the pictures are not. Is that right? I think so. The megapixels are lower or something. Anyway, something like that. And the sound is not better than the first one. But hey, which is weird because they made it. They gave it live streaming capabilities and then made the sound adequate to the first, to the 2016. Anyway, I don't know. I don't care. Samsung has no intention of doing anything with these things. They're done. They're like, I'm out. We're done. 360 cameras, forget it. We made 2. We're done. We're out. At least as far as I know. Freaking 5-10 years from now, 3-5-10 years from now, they could make a new one and say, hey, we came up with a new 360 camera. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, these are pixel checks, okay? See, now you're going to hear that, but I'm going to cool it down. Sorry. Cool down this thing. Yeah, so these are pixel checks, and they are, I'm sure some people have used these, played with these, I'm sure. See, I played with this one right here. I believe so. And I played with the car. Now, do they have the car in this? Yeah, there you go. Well, it's not a very good picture of the car, but that's the car. Where is it? Can you show me? There! That thing. There you go. That one. That one. Or this one. I didn't have the mall things. I didn't have the, all the other stuff. I didn't. I just had... And I didn't have any of these. I played with these things. I think it's exactly the one I played with, honestly, right there. I think it's exactly the one I played with right there. I think that's exactly what I played with. And then probably that exact color of card too, probably. Or with more pink, I don't remember. Anyway, I don't know if you can even see that. But anyway, yeah. That's actually what those things are cool. But yeah. So, 360 cameras, videos, I don't know. Anyway, so, hey. 360, I want to get in 360. And then I need monopods. And I was looking at getting a, because yesterday I dropped it when I was looking at getting a tripod for it. Like a Joby, Gorilla Pod. But I was like, do I want a Gorilla Pod first? Because, or do I want a monopod? And I was like, well, first I'll look up what people say are good monopods for 360 cameras. Like what people use, all that stuff. Second, I'm going to see what this deal is for the Insta360R Duo, whatever, yeah. You know? Right? Or I might use some. No, I feel like with that one, yeah. Yeah, I believe with that one. Yeah, okay, anyway. Yeah, so, I'll look at that, and I'll see all the stuff first before I do, because I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I want to see what those are first. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. So I'll see what that stuff is first, and then I'll look into like getting one, because I don't know which one I need first, because with not monopods, with the yeah, monopods, I can use it for if the camera still looks perfectly fine, not perfectly fine, but like fine enough to use, I can still use it for like virtual tours and stuff. So because I want to try and get to do virtual tours, because there's places I would do virtual tours that I could get to do anyway. But yeah, so I don't know anyway. So yeah, that's that, and then yeah. See, now it's the Halloween season, and I wanna watch. Okay, on Instagram I watched a movie, and I wanna watch a movie every day. I've already missed 2 days. I watched one last night, but I already missed 2 days. But I watched one last night, which was Night of the Living Dead, and Instagram is so stupid in regards to like when it comes to like their live videos, because features are only apparent when you do certain things. So like I can make a live video, do a live video for an hour, and then if I want to save that live video, which I can do, I have to stop that live video. I think it's true. It might even be a thing where after a certain amount of time you can't save it. Like if you go for like the full hour, you can't save it. Which you should just, once you get that part where it's like it's like going down, like, oh no, you only have a minute left, whatever it is. They should, like, it should just end and then have that option. No. I think that only works if you I'm not even 100% sure, but I think it only does that if you stop it before you get to that point. Which to me is just like, but why? What? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And used to let you like keep it up for 24 hours, and I was like, I could do that, right? But then it won't let me do that. Now that option isn't around. I don't know. It's stupid. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense to me. You can save these videos too. You can like download them, save them to your camera roll. But I never have space on my phone, so I can never do that. But anyway, so yeah, what were they saying? Yeah, so it's just dumb. Anyway, but yeah, so I want to watch a movie every day, but realistically, I'm only gonna get to watching a movie like the week of October or week of Halloween probably. Because I'm probably watching random movies here, like scattered in between here and there, but I don't think I'm gonna get to watch like I don't have 31 movies. Okay, yeah, I missed 2 days, so I don't have like 28 movies, 27 movies. Because last night I watched Night of the Living Dead, and that's a good movie. That's a good movie, Night of the Living Dead. It's very simple because there's virtually nothing to that movie. Spoiler alert. I'll give you like 5 seconds. Spoiler alert. They literally there's nothing to that movie. It's just we're stuck in a house. That's it. We're stuck in a house. That's it. That's it. We're stuck in a house. Oh, trying to get away from the zombies. And then we hate each other. We don't like any of us in this house, really. And then at the end, when everybody dies in that movie. Everybody dies. Well, actually, does everybody die? Yes. Yes. Everybody dies. I'm trying to remember. There's the first woman, whatever her name is. Does she die? I'm trying to remember. Yes. But I don't remember how. The guys in the basement die. The couple in the basement die. The two couples in the basement die. Ben dies. And then I don't remember how the girl dies, but I'm pretty sure she dies. Anyway, but yeah. So, anyway, but it's a good movie. But there's like nothing to it. But it's good. It's good that way. It's just simple. It doesn't overcomplicate everything. Because a lot of horror movies overcomplicate things with weird like mythology to these like creaturey things, and it's just like, oh god, you've got to kill it with the ring. I don't know, like the ring finger nail of a north flying pygmy marmoset or something. You know what I'm saying? Like or north facing pygmy marmoset or something stupid like. Or it's got to be the root of the wolfbane, but grown on the north side of the Eastern Peninsula on a full moon, while Jupiter and Venus are in retrograde, and oh my god, it's just ridiculous stuff. That way, it's not the worst, but it's just annoying when it gets really complicated and how to either kill them or like the backstory of these things, lore of these things, these mythologies of these things. Oh god, drives me nuts. I like how they just never explain. And also in that movie, I like how they never explain how anybody becomes a zombie. None. They're just like, oh, we have no idea really. We just know that they're going crazy and they're doing like they're dying and then turning into these weird zombie creature things. We don't know what's going on. Is it a virus? Is it a disease? We don't know any of it. It's great. Right? And then I love how they're just like at first they're like, oh well, stay inside at all costs, and then like later they're like, well, because this is the authorities, right? Because they're listening to the radio and then they find the TV, and so they're just like, stay inside at all costs, just stay where you are, stay huddled up, stay bundled up, and then they realize they're like, oh wait, maybe getting away from these things would be a better idea. So like get to these like secure, or what do they call them? They call them like bunkers, I think, or like not refugee, like rescue facility. I don't know, whatever they're called. But yeah, it's like the whole like they didn't know what was going on either. They're like, they didn't know what was going on. The authorities were like, I don't know what's going on. And I love how like one of the guys who comes up from the basement is just like, oh, the bad guy was named Mr. Kirby or Mr. whatever his name was. Anyway, the one who just doesn't want to go up really. Anyway, the wife, because he goes down, okay, and then he tells the wife, well, like, there's nothing useful up there. Like they had a radio, and she literally goes, radio? What are you, a nut job? We need the radio. And then he's like, what? And then he kind of convinces her, like, we don't need that. It's not that useful. And he goes, well, fine. What were they saying? And she's like, and he's just like, well, I don't know. They just know mass murder everywhere. Like, but what is it? What's going on? And he's like, I don't know. What he knows is just mass murder everywhere. Anyway, so yeah, I want to watch more movies. So I'm probably gonna scatter a bunch of just random movies in here and there. But I don't know. I'm gonna actually watch that many movies. I know I'm gonna watch movies from the week of Halloween. I know that. And I have the first one and the last one. I know what I'm going to watch for the first and the last. But other than that, the first, the last, and two somewhere between those two. But I don't know what else. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I want to do that. And then yeah. So good stuff. That the one I watched last night was good. It was good. So yeah, Halloween. See, but I'm not a big horror movie fan. I'm more of like a Halloween movie fan. So there's like, oh, I got five. I've got 5 movies now. I just need 2 more. I need 2 more movies for that week. Got it. And I want to play lots of video games too. I know I have a few video games, like games to play. One I played as a kid, which I really like. Well, I don't know. Actually, when I think about it, when you're like, you have nostalgia for something, but in a purely nostalgic, I played as a kid way, not in a, this is actually a good or bad video game. You're just indifferent towards the thing. Like, you don't have like oh, such a good game, and you're like, you just like it because you have nostalgia for it, and it's like, yeah, maybe, but I don't even have that like, oh, nostalgia, so I like it. No, I just have this like weird, I physically played it. I don't particularly think it's a good game or a bad game, even with the nostalgic of like, oh, I hated it as a kid, so therefore it's a bad thing, and I never, or like, oh, I played it as a kid, so I love it. Like, because there's a lot of things that I've watched that were both either bad, and I think they're decent because I watched them as a kid, or good. No, I think they're good, but they were really bad. I just said the same thing, didn't I? Bad, but I thought were good. Or good, but I never liked. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But yeah, so. And this game is very, it has that, like, I don't care for, like, I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't have the nostalgic, like, oh, it's good because I played it as a kid. No, I know. So, yeah, so. And then I was trying to find things like Scooby-Doo, right? I was like, but where do you, like, and I was thinking to myself, there's lots of these random, some movies, but mostly TV shows, where it's like, where do you watch some of these TV shows? Like, I'm looking at one now, right? I was transferring Smallville, because I got it from my mom's friend. I got, not the whole series, I got 10 seasons, 9 seasons, anyway, of Smallville. There's like 12 or 10, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I don't have them all. All I know, I don't have them all. Anyway, I was watching getting Smallville, right? And Smallville, right, is one of those shows where it's like, but where am I supposed to watch that if I wanted to watch that, right? I have lots of, almost the whole series, almost. So I could watch that. But where am I supposed to watch? But, like, and then there's things like, shows like Friends, where, like, or Seinfeld, where it's like, okay, Seinfeld's on, and I think both Seinfeld and Friends are on, if I'm not mistaken, are on Netflix. So it's a bad example. But what I mean by that is, like, they're always on TV somewhere. They're always showing episodes of this show somewhere. So even if there was no way of watching them, you can always find, like, little episodes here and there and whatnot, right? So, but I have the entire series of Friends, so you know what's the difference, right? Right? So it's fun for me. But again, if I want to watch it on freaking DVD, not really. And I got these things from my mom's friend, and or I think of my dad or my mom. I don't remember which one. It might have been my dad. I asked, like, what did I do with this though? Like, you got it. You're trying. You like you did, like, I'm transferring them all onto this hard drive right here, which it's just changing. Is it form or media? Whatever. Or media? Whatever. But, like, you're allowed to have a different, like, version of it, like, different form of it. Anyway. Like, you're allowed to have it on if you rip it. I don't know. Anyway. But, yeah. So I put them onto that drive. And then it's like, okay, you've done that. Now what are we supposed to do with it? And, like, because my friend was like, you could sell it. You can make $5,000 on it. It's like, yeah, if you had the next 10 years of your life. I don't have 10 years of my life to just be like, yeah. Like, yeah, no, really. Like, and she was right. If you had the time to spend to do it. I don't. So therefore, I was just like, I don't want to. I don't want to. And how are you going to sell them? You can't sell them at, like, the price that you paid them for them. Because you look at some of them and they're like $19.99. Some of them, it's like, oh god, that's ridiculous. Which, well, it's ridiculous in this day and age because, like, you can get them, like, on Netflix. So what's the point? Who'd want? I mean, there are those people. Don't get me wrong. There are those few people, like my best friend, who would love to have the series on their shelf, right? But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Shelf, right? But are they gonna buy a series? I have like 7 or something, 5. It's ridiculous. I had the whole series of X-Files. I have the whole series of Friends. I have the whole series of West Wing. I have the whole, not almost the whole series of Smallville. I have first three X-Men. Oh, yes. First three X-Men. I have the whole Planet of the Apes movie series. Like, jeez Louise. That's already 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 full series. Okay? 4 full series. Oh, Mad Men. That's 5. I think that's a full series of Mad Men anyway. Like, good gosh, my God. It's ridiculous. It's a lot of series. They all want to buy. Like, would you find enough people to buy them? It's like CDs. My dad has so many CDs, right? About 150 CDs. And we're like, sell them all. My mom's trying to say that, sell them all, right? And I was like, sell them all. But then I looked on like places like Facebook Marketplace and, Kijiji and places like that. And it's just, they're just layered with them because nobody wants them yet. Because that's the problem with it. We haven't hit that same thing with both the vinyls and the cassette tapes. And cassette tapes haven't even gotten to the same point as vinyls have. But mine, where the vinyls did the thing where they came back and like everybody wants one. Like, oh, they're so cool now. They're relevant. My best friend claims that cassette tapes are doing the same thing as vinyl. I'm like, not to the same extent though. And he's like, okay, maybe not like as much, like to the same extent as vinyl, like as records, but they're still records. Like, no, whoa, no, they're still pretty. Oh, it's not. Still pretty. Like they're having a comeback. It's like, no, it's because like 2 or 3 of the bands that he listens to have put them on cassette tapes, and I'm just like, so that merits cassette tapes to come back? Well, hey man, certain places are trying to make comebacks. Like, not that's a bad thing, but no, it's not. Stop. No. Anyway. So yeah, but like CDs haven't done that. So you wait 5-10 years, and they will. I think they will. Oh, I think they will make a weird like comeback that way. Well, but the problem with that is, okay, you know what I think is gonna happen? You're gonna make a comeback like that, and then people are gonna find out things like disc rot, and they're gonna go, oh, and then they're gonna like. At first, they're gonna particularly like. It's not gonna last long because. Oh no, wrong place. It's not gonna last long at all because it's gonna go like this. There's a peak. It's gonna go up, but people will want CDs again, and then people will find out there's disc rot, and then go, okay, so now there's your disc rot, and they'll start asking this stuff, and then they'll just give up. They'll be like, no, this is stupid. This is legitimately the worst. You know what I mean? They'll be like, no, I can't do this. I'm done. Like, no. This is no. You know what I mean? But they won't. They couldn't. Like, they won't be able to. Like, they'll just give up. And so it'll last like. I think it might. You might get 5 years out of it. Out of this new resurgence, because the vinyl resurgence has been like about 10, maybe 12 years. Well, from what I remember, again, I was too young to figure out whether like 15 years ago it was doing a thing or a comeback, but I know from what I heard, it was people. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong on this completely. I heard something. Don't quote me on this, but I heard something of who was it? It was Jack White bought a. I think he bought a vine, like a record plant. I don't know where. Don't ask me, but like record plants. Cause I know his albums are on vinyl, and just people like to put them back out on vinyl again. There's one in, is it Alberta or British Columbia, and then there's one in the States like Detroit or like not New York, Michigan maybe. Anyway, yeah. So that had a big resurgence as far as I know, like 10, 12 years ago. And it's still huge, like huge. Everybody wants vinyls, right? Record collections, right? Records have record collections. Anyway, and tapes, kind of, but not even close to to records. So I think I think at complete best you might get 5 years out of the CD guys, because that's the thing. People will hear about disc rot, and then because they'll be willing to like, okay, do they have rot? Do they have rot? Oh, okay, gotta check these discs and that disc and these disc and that disc. And I think by that time it'll be more prevalent disc rot, and so you'll have a lot of people like, okay, do you have disc rot? And then people will just give up, like, it's just too much work. I don't want to ask people if they have disc rot. And a lot of people will be like, I don't care, because it's a difference between the records and the CDs. Like, records will never physically degrade the same way. But I mean, physically degrade, like, just literally leave it there and it'll physically degrade. Like, that's the thing with CDs. CDs will just sit there and then just physically degrade. Like, you can do nothing and it'll be gone. It will be gone. I mean, it doesn't do the same thing as the tapes, where either a VHS tape or a audio tape, cassette, will physically degrade over time playing it, right? You play it more and more and more and it degrades down. But it has a physical it has physical degradation in you can leave it there forever. This disc right here, I leave it here, and eventually over time it'll physically degrade to the point of unusability. And this is also really a burn, like a DVD-R, so it's a writable, so therefore it's not great. So this will degrade faster than like a real pressed disc, but still, the law. It's just a matter of time. That's the thing. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just a matter of time, and that's it. That's all. So, oh well. Yeah. So, which is the scary thing what people have with video games, because they're like, but all my disc-based video games will just degrade. It's like, yeah. Will just cease to work. It's like, yeah. No. You know, people are like, no. That's the other thing, because they spend lots of money on it. So I'm like, oh. Where an NES game, Super Nintendo game, a Genesis game, a Nintendo 64 game, none of those, an Atari game, none of those will physically degrade the same way. Now the chips stop working, the capacitors, the resistors, all that stuff stop, like, leak and all that, but they will never physically, the traces, or the traces, the connection, the pins, they slot into your system, will never physically degrade the same way it sees. Anyway. So I think you might get 5 years out of that. I could see a resurgence in like 5-10 years, but I don't think it would last very long, because people would figure out disc rot and then just be like, no. But anyway, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out where to watch certain things. That's where I was getting at with the disc stuff and the CDs and the whatevers. Right. To watch things, and so it's things like Scooby-Doo, right? And it's like, where do you watch Scooby-Doo stuff? And Billiam, right? He had been sponsored by things like Verve, and he was doing things about Verve, and I think it's VRV. And I looked up Verve. It's like a streaming service, and it sounded like exactly what I wanted, but then I couldn't because it was in America. So I gotta get a VPN, which I do have a VPN. I just don't know the password to log in. So gotta change that. But yeah, because the VPN through a email client, and so I was like, oh, okay, great. And then I forgot the password to the email client. And that's the thing. That's the problem with I think that people are gonna have a big problem with that. You're gonna hear that because my problem is I have an app for this email client, and the email client, right, the email service client, the app just is always signed in, right, and so you never have to worry about ever signing in, which is good. But then you forget your password, and you're just like, you want to go on like on your browser, or on your web browser, and you're like, oh no, I don't know the thing. And with this one, it's all about security, and so if because I can do end-to-end encryption, right? So I can put a password on an email, and then they have to have the password to unlock it, right? To open it, open it, whatever you want to call it, right? And so for me, that sounds like a great idea. So I was like, okay, great, and it's end-to-end encrypted. Even if you don't, it's end-to-end encrypted from my end and to their end. And they claim that like you can even proton mail. So even that's what it is. So even if they like, even if you're not sending it to another proton mail user, like, right? Apparently they have the ways to like encrypt it even to like any other email. Anyway, not gonna do that. But like, if I want to reset the password, it's gonna delete all previous emails. I'm like, no, but I'm like, no, but, wait a sec. Do I actually really care? Like, is it really that big? I don't know. Yeah, so, hey, what are you gonna do? So I have to just reset it anyway. And I'm like, but I could do that. What do I have in the past that I need, really, right? Do I need some of these emails? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. What was I going with that? Email client, encryption. Movies. Oh yeah, that's the VPN. So I gotta do that. And if I do that, I got it. So anyway, but yeah. So what was I? Yeah. So yeah. So it's like so many places I want to watch some of those, and there's just some TV shows. They're either too short. Usually it's too short or too obscure. It's not usually long. Or when it is long, it's usually they don't have the full series. Oh, they don't have like first season or something, or they don't have the last season, or they don't have like anything past this, or they only have up till this, or they don't have before this season or something. You know, which I don't know. Anyway, like animes will do it a lot. Where like if they're really long animes, like Naruto or One Piece, right? Some places will never have all of it, so or mangas where like they don't have the first issue or something, like a library or like a what's it called, like a bookstore. Yeah, I want to find places to watch. Tell me okay. So guys, I think that'll be it for now, guys. So tell me what to watch, what to do with this 360 camera, as long as the thing still looks okay from the crack, or from the scratch or crack, whatever you call it. What to do with the camera, tell me what to do with the podcast, what topics. Tell me what to do, what to watch, what Halloween stuff to watch, what Halloween games to play, then what Christmas stuff, and then just games in general and things to watch and all that. And then, what else? Yeah, and then tell me. Yeah, and then there's if you want to get in contact with me, there's the email address Tacoimposters@gmail.com. There's the Discord and the Patreon, all linked in the description. You want to see better content? Support me on Patreon. Be a Patreon. Be one of my Patreons, and you'll be good. You'll see a better quality camera, more stuff, better audio, everything. You'll be good. Be good. Be good. But, yeah, so. If 100 people gave $1, that's $100. If 10 people gave $5, that's $500. If 10 people give $10, that's $1,000. Or sorry, it's $100. Yeah, $1,000. Hey, you just need 10 people to give $10, and that's $1,000. Is that right? Am I doing the math correctly? I'm very bad. Yes. So yeah. You know what I mean? So hey. So anyway. Yeah, $1,000. Yeah, $1,000. So hey, you just need to be a lot of people, and you get some stuff out of it. It's pretty good stuff. I think that'll be it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos.